Going to do, we're going to start as Burundi. I'm just going to quickly check these. That's all okay. And we'll start the game. So here we are. Building wise, we have a livestock ranch. Wow, we're doing so well. That's obviously a joke. We have nothing. We do have access to coal and iron, as I mentioned earlier. That will help a little bit with our industrialization process. But we are starving. There is nothing for our people to eat. There's nothing for them to do. You know, we have nothing here. And we need to help with that. Additionally, technology-wise, we have nothing. And as I said earlier, we desperately need to get colonization going because we need to shut off this trade before the British or the French come running down. One thing I am going to do very early on is I'm going to start improving relations with Britain and France. They are the two who are most likely to get involved in our diplomatic plays, and whilst there's no risk from them if they get involved in a diplomatic play as we're trying to conquer this area here, what it does do is it massively slows you down. So if France get involved and they try to do something in this area, and you then have to sit and wait for their war support to drop low enough that you can accept a white peace, it just slows the game down for you. The game to begin with here is so slow anyway. Slowing it down more is not fun. You don't want it to happen. I'm going to start actually by building up my military. I know that sounds silly when my people are starving, but I need to conquer this area and I need to do it very, very quickly. And the reason for that is to do with your infamy. So obviously as the game goes on and you attack people, your infamy goes up, but it bleeds away. If I can conquer all this area very quickly before anyone else gets up here, my infamy doesn't matter because no one can reach me. And it just gives me as much time as possible to bleed that infamy off before I move onwards and start actually connecting up with the world as it is. So that's the reason behind that. I am also going to put on my decrees. I'm going to put social mobility going. I'm going to get encourage agriculture going. Both small things, but again, every little helps. Social mobility will help get the soldiers going as I get the officers for it. And the agriculture is obviously just going to help the subsistence farms, and I don't know if it helps subsistence farms actually, but it'll definitely help the livestock ranch. Maybe we'll get some of this meat going, and we can start feeding our people. Now, as I said, colonization is incredibly important. So technology-wise, I'm going to do something that you don't normally do. You normally build up your tier 1 technologies before you start your tier 2 one. But to get colonization going, I need quinine. I need it fast because I need to get rid of the removing the malaria. With that involved, I need colonization and pharmaceuticals. You can go either way down these two routes. I'm going to go this way first because it might take me a while to pass the colonization law, and so the earlier I get colonization and get started on that, the better. On the subject of laws, you can't change anything. You know, you have no technology passed to be able to pass any of these laws. You could try and do abolish serfdom. The landowners don't like that. I mean, we'll pull in the rural folk. They probably do like the idea of abolish serfdom. Yep, it gives me a 12% enactment chance. That's not great, but there's nothing else for me to do, so we'll try and pass that law. I'm just going to put the outliers on just so I can see what's going on. I'm going to bolster the rural folk whilst we try and pass this law, just because that will help get that up and running. I'm also going to bolster the armed forces, just because I know the armed forces like colonization, so the quicker I can get them up, the better. We still have quite a lot of authority, so I'm also going to bolster the intelligentsia. They have a lot of late game laws that I quite like, so once we start getting the technology, bringing them in would be quite nice. And I'm going to suppress the devout. Again, this is all mainly because I've got so much authority, it doesn't matter. But that just helps bring them down, and they're troublemakers. I'd love to suppress the landowners, but you can't suppress a force that's in government. They are just too high. So, with all that said, I'm going to probably play a lot of this game on super fast. certainly the early stages of it. There's not a lot you have going on. I'm going to set up a couple of millet farms just when these barracks are finished. We'll get the logging camps going and maybe another livestock ranch as well. As you can see, we can't build construction because we don't have the money, and this takes so long to do anything. I'm going to do that just so it helps all of those. Again, the money is nothing at this point. You know, as long as it stays green and doesn't go too badly into the red, there's not much more you can do with your military and budget at this stage. So there's one of the funny edits I was talking about. I hope it doesn't come across too weird. That might happen a lot during the game, and we'll just have to deal with it, I'm afraid. So I'm going to build these barracks first. The goal is to very quickly take on Karagwe, then hopefully capture Rwanda not that far long after, and then start on the countries of Uganda. I think it's Uganda. Yep. We'll take that and we'll see where we get to from there. We have journal entries, and there's not a huge amount going on. Calgary is improving relations, so I need to. So we could go straight into a war, but actually, one, I want to get these up a little bit so that they're less likely to join in and want to take over me. And two, I want to get my military built up a little bit as well. And yeah, I apologise if there's weird edits. Not only is there me needing to go off, but also the game is pretty slow at the start. It gets very interesting later on, but the game is pretty slow at the start. You kind of know what you're doing. So I might just edit out a lot of this sitting around waiting for things to build, because things build so slowly that, you know, I mean, this is a tiny queue and it's 193 weeks just to finish this. And you can't put your construction yards in because you just don't have the money to do it. My standard of living has already increased. You know, they up to struggling rather than starving, which is good. Probably because I've brought these barracks online, I've reduced the tax so much, and I've increased military wages. That's probably just stopped people from starving, which is nice. I'm already making a benefit for my people, isn't that good? So I've got a few options here. I can lower the standard of living. I definitely don't want to do that. I can increase enactment time, but I'll probably take this one. I have lots of spare bureaucracy. 15% of the bureaucracy I'm using is next to nothing, and it increases the enactment chance, so we'll go for that. And I think once this barracks is built, I'll probably start against Karagwe, the war. Let's see where we go from there. So that barracks has been built. I will probably start with Conquer State against Karagwe, and I'm going to hope both France and Britain stay out of this war. Not so much because I'm worried about them beating me, but more because if they get involved, it just takes so long to get anywhere. I do need to recruit a general. And you are an opium addict. And psychological affliction, so I think it's got to be you. He's wrathful, which is a reasonably good one. And a mountain combat expert, and there's mountains around here and things, so he's probably the better one. I'm going to hold off mobilising him just because I don't want to encourage anyone to come and assist. I'm quite happy to just even get to the point where I'm going to start damaging. Can I not? Oh, I don't have any authority left. But yeah, I'm just going to wait till this gets to where it is. I'm going to mobilise him now, and we'll just wait for him to mobilise. It does take a while, and I don't want to push him to the front too front. Oh! And Karagwe back down. That gives us 10, so once again, we want to go as quick as we can here. We're going to start against Rwanda. I double his Rwanda's improving relations just as we go to war with him. That's kind of funny. They do want to enact slavery ban. I would love to. It's not going to happen, I'm afraid. The landowners are far too powerful. What can we do? I don't want to make anyone radical, but we don't have many bureaucrats, and it just doesn't affect the enactment chance, so we'll go for that one. Again, I don't want to mobilise people too early, because if I mobilise them too early, it might pull France or Britain in, because they'll panic and offer them something to do that. So at the moment, I'm just going to sit and wait. And wait. Oh, they back down as well. Oh, well, I've never had it back down as much as it is doing, but I'm certainly not going to object to it. I'm certainly not going to object to the countries backing down. Let's just plough on. We'll go for Ankole next. Now you notice these are dropping, so it's a good job I started pushing them up. We are becoming rather infamous, but we've got plenty of time for this to bleed off, and our balance is starting to look reasonably good. Once we get some of these logging camps built, and I'll probably get a couple more. We might even be able to start a construction centre soon, and that would be nice. We can't get any further here. It's got Tanganyika and Masai Tanganyika. That's these two, but they're both decentralised powers, so you can't actually go to war with those. How is my market doing? It's always good just to keep an eye on this. Obviously we don't have manufacturing yet, so we can't build any of these stuff. We could start producing more tea. Let's just put a tea plantation in Burundi. Okay, I left that a little late. I got distracted. We're going to mobilise my army. War is broken out, but no one else is involved. As soon as this hits 100%, I'm going to put them on to advance the front. Where my huge 14 battalions should crush their 4 battalions, even though mine are rubbish. His are rubbish as well. We've passed bureaucracy. We're going to put international affairs going. I don't want to hurt the chances, so we'll go with this one. Either any option to improve it is good. Yeah, look at this. Huge battalion surplus, and I'm just going to crush them. And then I think if I put my taxes up to normal, I'm probably close enough that I can build a construction centre now. I'll put that right to the front of the queue. I know it's not much, but any little helps. Our buildings just take so long to build. So we've captured Ankole. They're done for. We'll take that. And the glorious Burundi nation is moving. It's good to see this going up. Hopefully if we can get it high enough, they'll not want to force me to become their puppets. And look at that, we are already impoverished, which from starving is pretty good. So that is Ankoli gone. We're going to jump straight into the next one, which is Bunyoro. We're now up to 15 battalions. So we are going to beat everyone. We don't have to worry about that at all. And yes, I am successfully maintaining it. Except the abolishers got hurt. And the hard times, they are finally here. And we might as well improve the industrialists. Doesn't matter, they're down. So this is what I was worried about. So France has sided with Bunyoro. Now, the moment they don't have anything here, but if they decide they want to make me a puppet, I'm in a lot of trouble. Because I just have to sit around and wait for that to run out. Now, they haven't yet. I'm holding off. I mean, I could actually add some war goals into it. Try and get, war reparations from France. I don't want the Valico people, so we'll take this one. But there's not. It'd take too long. While I want France to capitulate and accept a white peace really quickly. And hopefully, if I can capture Bunyoro and wipe them out. See, I don't have to worry about the French getting here because they are completely cut off. There is no way for the French to actually get here and assist them. So my military will crush his military. And by not adding any other war goals, I'm hoping that once I conquer it, the French will just take a white peace. I need to raise the standard of living by 3 points. How is my market? I mean, wood is used excessively, but we are working on the logging counts. I might push them up above the livestock crunch. And we have abolished serfdom. Look at that. We are working on international relations. Don't think there's any other laws I can pass. I could try for appointed bureaucrats, but I'd need the intelligentsia. Oh, you know what? I could put the intelligentsia in. Let's bring them in. Tiny chance to pass. I probably won't get this. But it just removes the landowners, and we just want to hurt the landowners. I'm going to stop bolstering the rural folk. The reason for that is I don't want to make them too powerful, and they've done their purpose. They've got me serfdom abolished, and now we can just sit around and enjoy the fruits of the improved labour pool, improved subsistence farms. I mean, it does hurt the price of grain, but we did build the millet farm earlier on, so we have one millet farm. That's kind of all we need. I could get fruit and sugar, but I don't really need fruit and sugar at this point in time. Could obviously get harvesting tools, but we haven't unlocked mechanization yet, so we can't build them. And Bunyoro capitulates, giving me this. I just realised I haven't started incorporating this yet, so we will do that. We'll keep going, so Ankoli is next. They are my next target. Once we've got Ankoli, we will take Burgundy, and we will have our own tiny little kingdom here. You see, look, we're still 2 years away from this tiny little construction queue. We have plenty of gold reserves, so we don't overly have to worry about money at the moment. France has sided with them again. Are they going to want to puppet me? They are not, which is great. It doesn't matter if they side with these countries. It really doesn't. What you don't want is for them to puppet you. If they puppet you, it just slows the game down almost to an unplayable point. It's not fun at that stage. But we will mobilise here. We'll push him from the front. I can afford the bureaucracy, I'll do that. Again, I don't have to worry that France is here. I don't have to worry that they're mobilising an army that's considerably better than mine. Because they can't get here. My army will steamroll them and call his army. And that will be the end of this war. Here we go again. Look, we have we're going to steamroller them. A lot of our manners reasonably be popular. Oh, I've not seen this event before. So I can get a new character, or I can lose intelligence in interest group faction. Well, I don't want to choose their attraction, so we'll get a new character. Oh. So landowners have decided they don't like our attempts to appoint bureaucrats. That's fine. We'll pull them out. We will kick the intelligentsia from government. We'll pull the armed forces in. And I can't put the landowners in because they're angry. I've got an illegitimate government, so at the moment I can't pass any laws. I need to appease the landowners a little bit. There we go. So they're back in. We've got the armed forces in there. And hopefully that means when we get colonialism, we can just pass that straight away. They're very nearly finished, so that'll be the end of the Ancoli. Then we'll get Buganda, which is the scarier one. I mean, they've got a potential 25 army. You know, ours is much lower than that. But with that said, we're still going to conquer them. And if I need to take conscripts there, we'll do so. We've got international relations, so it's colonisation next. I'm going to promote you. Doesn't cost me much to do it, and it just increases my ability. So when I pull in these conscripts, and I'm going to pull them all in, because I'm going to need them for this war, it means I can get my full army pushing on this front. Landowner's approval. I'm gonna do it. I mean, I could have used the benefit and tried to push appointing bureaucrats again, possibly, but as it stands, I'm going to keep it as it is. I have 19 to its 12, so this should be a relatively short war, but it's easily the biggest one. You can see why I left Uganda until the very end in my attempt to do a military conquest. And in actual fact, he's going to beat me. I might. Oh, my military wages are as high as they can go anyway. Uganda's in turmoil, and this could be a long, drawn-out war. Oh no, look, we're winning this one. So we lost the first one, but my Jesus, what the hell happened there? We were so doing so. Oh, Oh, that's swing. I've never seen it swing like that before. But we've managed to get... Go on. We managed to get the victory. And hopefully the fact that my military wages are so high means I will recuperate my armies quicker than he does. And that seems to be the case, yeah. And we will conquer Buganda. Already they are falling way quicker than I am. And we will take it from there. Still haven't had... So it usually spreads relatively quickly, but it's nearly finished. And that will let me get the tooling workshop up and running. I do want to build a dye plantation. Now I obviously don't need a dye plantation. In fact, I'm going to cancel that tea plantation because it takes so long to build, and I've managed to get my tea plantations from other places. I'm going to build a dye plantation, and that might seem weird at this stage, but I want that built because when I get manufacturers, I can get the glassworks. I can start to produce that porcelain that is so desperately wanted by one person in my population. Yeah, so it was a bad start to this war, but we are winning it now. We're actually losing this one, but it doesn't matter. I mean, their war supply is so low, they're going to capitulate in a moment anyway. Manufacturers unlocked, which is great, and we've got money that we can probably get another guard going. I might put it in Uganda because you were talking to, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to pump it right to the top once again. And maybe I'll build up some logging camps here as well. So I've got 6 here. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then over here we'll build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot of logging camps. It's a lot of time to be building. And in actual fact, I don't have that much time because I'm going to, in the middle of this, no, I'm going to cancel those. Just because I want the tooling workshops and the glassworks really. Did I see manufacturers unlock? I did, so I can build a glassworks. The glassworks when it's built will start using ceramics, which produces the porcelain, and will help with the dye plantation. And such a way we start to move our country forward very slowly, tiny steps. Burundi can also get a tooling workshop. I don't have steel tools, and I can't get steel tools because I'm focusing so hard on steel working here. So it is spreading shaft mining, which is good, and maybe I'll get steel working, which gives me the sawmills, which is a huge step forward when I get it. But at the moment, I'm just kind of stuck. I will build a furniture manufacturer after the tooling workshop, and this just starts the urbanization of my society. In act racial segregation. I mean, in fairness, racial segregation is better than what I have at the moment. I might do that. So I do actually want to get multiculturalism, and you do kind of have to play a bit of an authoritative game in this part of the world. But multiculturalism, if I can start pulling people in, it will give me the people I need, and will make up for a little bit about the... I'm going to stop bolstering Great Britain now. I don't need them. Look at that lovely green on the map now. Yeah, we were short years ago. We were just this tiny little thing here. We've already spread so far. Our infamy is still reputable, but that's just going to bleed off, and it'll comfortably bleed off before we get to the point we have to worry about anything. We've got 4 months till we get colonisation, and I don't think I'm going to get I'm going to hurt the rural folk. I want to hurt them as much as I can, push them down. I don't want them powerful. Oof. That second construction workshop is hurting me. It's hurting me big. I need more logging camps. I'm going to have to prioritise these logging camps. I need to get this down. And it's this cost of this wood. I mean, the fabric is still dirt cheap. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to hurt the intelligence here. I'm not going to get a chance to pass this. So we are going to cancel that law. And we'll take it from there. So I apologise if there was another weird edit there. Again, there's not a huge amount I can do about it. Real life has to take advantage of the game. So I do have a bit of a problem here. I've maybe built that construction centre too soon. We'll see what happens when I get these logging camps up and running, and if I can do that before I start, before I build food and gold reserves. I've got about 20 weeks, so I might get 2 of them built in that time. I could increase taxes, but put it all the way to the top. That at least gets me going, and I've passed colonisation. That is supremely important, and that means once colonisation is done, I can start this way. Now realise that rationalism will pass very quickly because it's already spreading to me anyway, and then we'll quickly go down pharmaceuticals and quinine. I mean, it's still a long way to go to get there, but we'll do that as quickly as we can. And I need to go to my politics. I need to pull the armed forces into government, which they are. I'm already bolstering them. I'm going to try and get colonial resettlement. It's an important one to pass, so we will hold it and we'll see. And if I can get the colonial resettlement passed, when is it? It's August. It's not actually that bad. My legitimacy is pretty good, which is nice. I mean, we are number 49 in the world. That's doing really well. Literacy has gone up. Our standard of living is still pretty poor. Nationalism will go to academia. We could build some universities that will help, but we can't get the paper to do anything with it. I mean, we could add a paper mill into our ever-expanding building queue here. I mean, we've got a lot more money at this really high tax rate, so hopefully that will get all of these logging camps built. I'm going to switch these ones to, even though no, I'll keep it, but when I've finally read it, I will switch it to hardware production, which will help with the thing. We've got no colonial affairs. It is very high. Am I suppressing these? No, but let's suppress them. That should help keep their revolution pretty low. I just need to get this back into a good state. We have a bureaucratic shortfall, so I'm going to need a. I don't have enough taxation capacity here, so I'm going to build a government administration there. I'm leaving behind a lot of money. A lot of money. I'm going to push that right up. Because if I can get that, it actually solves my problem of my negative balance. And we passed it. That is huge that that passed as quickly as it did. I'm going to establish colours, and I'm going to go for, I kind of want Kenya and this. I need to get these two up. This one I'm less bothered about. It'll be nice to have because it completes my state. But I'm going to go for Kenya and as you can see, these numbers are huge. That's because we don't have quinine. We really need to get quinine in place. And this place can build a port because we haven't presumably unlocked the technology to build ports. I'm going to put 2 there because I think I'm going to need more than 1. Not for the bureaucracy, but I want to incorporate Rift Valley. I want to do it as... Oh, you can't incorporate whilst you're expanding, of course. So in that case, I might cancel that second one. I don't think I'm going to need it. Is there any other laws we can pass whilst we're reading? We don't have the things to pass that. We don't again have any of the laws to pass that. I'd love to pass like agrarianism, but again, we don't have laws for it. Could try remove banning slavery, but that's just gonna radicalise the landowners to the point that we can't run the country. I might push this glassworks back up again. I can get that glassworks built when it starts the industrialisation of my country. And 2, it just meets this need. Textile as well. I might build that in Uganda just because I'm not really building much over here. Add it to the back of the queue. There's no rush. You know, we've got to get the basics up and running. Yeah, I know it's isolated, but there's nothing I can do about that at this moment in time. We'll put the paper note at the bottom. Nothing uses it. I don't think the government admins use paper to begin with. +5. I am. Oh god, I'm 35 short. Well, probably am going to need that. So with all of that running, the economy is looking okay. Our buildings are running. We're starting ever so slightly the industrialisation. You know, we're kind of meeting most of the basic needs. People are still struggling, but they're not starving anymore. I was going to look how many countries are in the world. Now, some of them might have already passed, but we started at... it won't tell me, but I imagine 330 is probably one of the worst. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it for now. And we'll play another bit later. Thanks.